So the small van life weekend meetup was arranged, and the build up to that was brilliant. You know, the erection of a TP with Greg, with enormous hilarity trying to put that thing up, and the trial with Henry's birthday party, the trial of the lads from London and the rave in the TP, and then the rave in the Pheasant. Oh my days, what a weekend that was. Yeah, there just seemed to be a combination of weekends that were just building up to this sort of last weekend to sort of celebrate my time on the farm. And I remember the sort of the setting up and the morning of the arrival of when guys were turning up later on during the day, and seeing Jordan, Matt and Stewie floating downstream on a pink flamingo. You know, who was to realise that pink flamingo would have such an enormous role to play in the hilarity of what was an amazing weekend, followed by the boys sometime later driving down in the Land Rover, and again, you know, who would have thought that thing would have a huge part to play in an episode over the weekend. But the day was there, and slowly over the course of the afternoon and the evening, right into the early hours of the evening actually, of the following day rather, people just started arriving, and it was just brilliant to see all of these vans sort of trundling down the track into the field. And I'd arranged for Jordan to be there with the pizza oven, so there were pizzas on tap. I'd bought beers for everybody, so there was beer ready for everybody as they arrived. So a nice little welcome for everyone as they rocked up over the course of that day. And it was just such an amazing weekend. I just cannot think of enough adjectives to explain how much fun we had over that weekend. It was just brilliant. Such an amazing group of people, and people who, you know, I guess for me were very influential in my sort of journey into van life. And subsequently, once I'd taken that leap into van life, people that I'd met and just were very, very important to me one way or another, whether that be emotionally, whatever it was, it was a group of people that just sort of kind of were I don't know, you know, imagine a group of hands all around you just being able to sort of hold you up and be there in one way or another. That's what this particular group of people were to me, and it was just really nice to be able to have an opportunity to sort of share the comforts and the amazing location that I had for most of the summer, and to be able to share that with them, and share it with people who were having a shit time, you know, but were going through a lot of trials and tribulations out there on the road during lockdown especially, far greater than my discomfort and frustrations of my mum's driveway. I mean, it really was ridiculous what some of these guys were having to go through, and it was just nice to be able to have, I don't know, kind of give them a weekend of respite and a reminder as to, you know, why we live the life we do and why we do what we do in van life. And it was just lovely to have that moment to share with such a like-minded, amazing group of people. So I guess, as all things, you know, all good things must come to an end, and the meetup was just the highlight of the whole summer. But, you know, sadly, it had to come to an end, and people went off in their own directions and continued their lives and went on their own particular journeys. And I remember just saying goodbye to everybody as they all drove up the track, and I returned the Land Rover back to the yard, and then I walked back to the lockdown field. And I remember just that walk back to the van. Oh my God, I was so gutted. I've never been so sad. I must admit, I did have a moment. I did cry for a bit, sat there, because it was, suddenly you had a weekend full of people that you really loved and want to be around and hang about with, and then suddenly they're all gone, and that not knowing and the, you know, when you were going to see them again, etc., is always hard. I always find that particular thing, to be honest with you, with lockdowns, I always find that very, very difficult, the actual moving on and going away. The anticipation and build up for meetups and weekends is incredible, but yeah, the ending of them and then the days afterwards are just, I hate them. They just leave me with this emptiness. I just can't explain it. It's horrible. But I was left with some amazing memories. You know, when you sort of like, you replay the weekend, you replay what happened, moments in your head. You know, the ventures down, upstream rather, in canoes and kayaks. You know, there was just this this piece of music that you just can't get out of your head. It's just always there in the background. I just remember paddling along thinking, this reminds me of something. But yeah, I was left in that field to reflect on a lot of things, and it was difficult, but you know, I didn't have long to then sort of get my head around the fact that I had one more mini hurrah, which was to do another pizza and beer weekend, and then drive back up north and get ready for work again. So I guess all good things come to an end, and how do I close this particular vlog? There are so many moments, so many names, too many mentions. I feel like I can't mention everybody just through fear of forgetting someone. But ultimately, the summer for me was, it kind of was a sort of, it was a big resetting. It was a sort of cleansing, I guess. Although I didn't feel particularly cleansed with some of the activities. But I think it kind of got me thinking. I did a huge amount of thinking. As I said earlier, I think I am an overthinker, and I sort of got to pondering about my future and work, van life, my family, a whole bunch of things, and yeah, it certainly got me. It got me scratching the old noggin for a while, trying to sort of work out where do I go from here. And the one thing I've noticed recently for me is that believe it or not, I'm sort of quite an introvert, incredibly shy, and do find it quite difficult being around lots of people, and you know, I do sort of get filled quite a lot with anxiety thinking about things, and I think the summer for me was an opportunity to sort of kind of get out of my sort of shell to some extent. Not just the summer, I think van life has done that for me to some extent. It sort of brought out almost like a necessity to come out of my shell to some extent, and it's hard. You know, I find it excruciatingly difficult at times being around people, and I think you know, over the last 2.5 years, it's kind of given me this purpose and I guess a talking point which enables me to sort of get the foot in the door, so to speak, with conversations and opening up and talking to people. And the summer, I think, was that sort of opportunity to sort of share with people who weren't like-minded at all, got what I did and were infused by it, but don't share the same experiences because obviously they don't do it. And being able to talk to these people and sort of have an opportunity to talk about things, and then not so much just my van life, but then to expand on that and then to talk about other things and everything. I guess that's really what the summer was for me. It was just a chance to sort of get to know different people, and you know, as I said, I find it really, really hard at times. And those that know me probably think I'm probably quite surprised by that, and you know, you probably see me at events or meetups and think, really? But believe me, you know, in here this is going 10 to the dozen, and yeah, I find the whole thing rather difficult at best. But yeah, the great 2020 summer reset came to an end, as all good things do, and it basically got me out of my shell. It gave me an opportunity to meet the most amazing people and to share experiences with people that, you know, I can call friends and have a special kinship and relationship with regards to the life that I lead. Yeah, I'll look back upon my experiences with the OC with a smile on my face every time. The wonderful, amazing people that I met in Team Valley in one way or another, and for the guys on the farm, Jordan, Tom, Amber, Greg, Billy, Henry. The OC basically made a big impact on me, and I will always treasure that summer and will look upon it with such fondness and have an opportunity to talk about it with a broad smile, with fond memories. So thank you guys for those memories. And I guess really the big question is, you know, did it make a difference or not to me? Have I turned out for the better or for the worst? I guess I'll leave that up to you guys to decide.